done messed up, no. Bad news, fit to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaselina like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zoc, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like it's Harbor Freight. Try to hold me, it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Told them boys we taking over. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them U.P.K rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. He ain't locked in with the counting, with you speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bang, got them tied down and out there. Came through with them steppers, niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole part. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our car. And I just made the call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died, y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dumb, a gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We was slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. U.P.K undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard, they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And another blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's
Negros, indios, nativos, somos los verdaderos israelitas. ¿Esto dónde lo dice? Según esto dice en la Biblia.
Show that Puerto Ricans love America, but that ain't reality. These attacks was planned beforehand. Only white cops were assigned.
and our only resources to defend ourselves.
We tried to move people onto the sidewalks, but the police were all out for blood.
Another series of protests was staged by thousands of students, parents, and the Brown Berets. In June 1968, the group that had become known as the East LA 13 was released on bail.
Demonstrate to our people and we deserve better and that we could, get better.
I don't think there's ever been a time when we need more of the spirit of the young lords than today.
I guess we had no fear. We just did what we think, what we thought at the time was the right thing to do.
National captain of the Black Panther Party. They are making it their business to process arresting me and my wife, to a process arresting numerous Panthers on the block.
Police just went in and started beating them viciously. It was ugly. They were just yelling at us, you dirty spicks, dirty Mexicans, who do you think you are?
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're...
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashim Shabrakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatham Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer 500 Barak Yala with the I.S.U.P.K, which stands for the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA, you understand? And the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. You get nothing but the truth, unadulterated, not sugar-coated whatsoever. This is not the Christian church. This is not the fake so-called purple Israelite groups or those who allow you to sleep with white women or with Africans or whatever the case is, you understand? This is the home of the truth. This is the body of Christ. We don't just read the Bible. We don't claim to read or teach the Bible. We live it. You understand? And this is the topic of the class tonight, that just like the sister Eve, I don't know if y'all seen her Christmas dinner picture. It looked like a Django movie. Salakia, right? Why? Because our people were so destroyed that we've been conditioned to hate ourselves, right? Don't think that Eve just hates black men. She can't find no good black men. That's why she ended up with a white man. She hates herself, right? Just like these other brothers. I think Charles Barkley, I'm not mistaken, Michael Jordan, don't quote me on that. Any brother, right, or sister that is sleeping with a heathen, you really hate yourself first, and then you hate your people. It's that simple. Interracial relationships is really self-hatred, because you can't see yourself with someone that looks like you. You think that you're better off with an oppressor, in the sense where that oppressor gives you a feeling of being sharing his throne or her throne, sharing their position in their empire. That's why you be with the oppressor. Don't think, like, even brothers like Martin Luther King, it was not just about, lusting for a white woman. He wanted to be white. It was not about, ending oppression with our people. It was about him wanting the same position of power as white men. That's it. That's why our brothers and sisters want to be with oppressors, especially whatever heathen you're with. Really, especially when you're with Caucasian people, you want them to share their seat with you. It will never happen. You understand? You're compromising the love you have for your people. Why? Because you want to be on an equal footing with them. Here's the thing. There is no such thing as equality, not even in the Bible. The Bible is very racist. It is like the instruction manual of racism. You understand? Literally. And God is the ultimate racist. And then we're going to show you today that you should have never compromised the love you have for your people or the integrity that you have. If you have any integrity in the first place, you should not even be with any heathen. Whether it's not even about black or white, you should not marry Arabs. You should not marry Africans. You should not marry Asians. Young Jeezy married a rat eater. Look at him now. You understand? It's whatever heathen you marry, we're going to see why. Because listen, it's not even a quantum physics equation. Why should we not do the things we're not supposed to do? We're going to see that tonight. It's the same reason we should not eat pork. It's the same reason you can't be a homosexual. It's the same reason you can't smoke weed. All those instructions, why are we forbidden to do certain stuff? For the same reason that you have to come home at a certain time when your parents tell you to do so, because God told us to do so. That's it. It's not complicated. We're not supposed to eat pork, not because, pork eats its own feces. Chickens eat their own feces. Yet chicken is a clean animal, according to scriptures. Pork is not, because God said so. And he described clean animals, whether they're mammals, birds, sea animals, animals living in the waterways, right? Fishes, whatsoever, what's clean and what's unclean. He gave you instructions of what to do and what not to do. One of these things that you should not do or partake in is interracial marriages. And I say marriage because once you have sex with a person, you're married to them according to scriptures. Whatever you call it, boyfriend, fuck friend, friend with benefits, you're married to the person you're having sex with. You understand? And that's the topic of today, right? Let me show you in the first place where you need to understand, even without marrying, in a sense, even without having a so-called, quote unquote, what you would call a relationship with that person today, you should never mix with the heathens. You're supposed to remain separated. Segregation is in the Bible. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 7, yeah? Leviticus chapter 20, verse 7. Let's start there real quick. Anyone has any questions or comments, of course, put them in the chat. Shalom to everybody. Yahweh Barakam, to Officer Zabadia and Officer Adiyar. Dwara for tuning in. Salaki for the rank and order. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 7. It says, sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy. What does it mean to sanctify? To sanctify literally means to render holy. And for those who are just, who missed a lot of these brotherhood classes, we need to break down the word holy again. Teach you like y'all are children. Right? So you make sure you understand and you wash off the filth and the lies that have been taught to you by the Christian church. The word holy doesn't mean have a halo on top of your head and you go to church every Sunday and you do your Hail Mary and you say, praise Jesus, God is good. No. The word holy comes from the Hebrew word kodash, which means to be separate or set apart. That's segregation right there. It says to separate yourselves. If sanctify means to render holy or to make holy, and holy means to separate, you mean to set yourselves apart or separate yourselves. And be ye holy, be separate, be segregated. For I am the Lord your God. That's another proof that God's not for everybody, because he didn't speak to every single nation right there. He's talking to the Israelites saying, I am the Lord your God, not the God of the whole planet Earth. Salakia. Verse 8, and ye shall keep my statutes and do them. What is a statute? A statute is another word for law, which was only given to the Israelites. We are to keep his statutes, all the laws we are to keep. We're not supposed to make a compromise. Listen, I hear a lot of people say, well, if you're on a deserted island and you think humanity is gone and wasted away like in the movies, and the only woman to sleep with is a so-called heathen, would you sleep with her? Don't do it. The same way in the book of Maccabees, you would not eat pork. You'd rather face death than to eat pork. Yeah, don't. The Most High is not going to cause you to sin. You understand? He's not going to look at you like, you know what? That was the only woman on the face of the earth. And for you sisters thinking that, yeah, that was the only man, listen, that seed that he puts in you is of him. That child is of the seed of his father. You understand? That's what y'all need to understand. I am the Lord which sanctify you. The Lord made you separate. So you following in the footsteps of Martin Luther King, who followed after the white man. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Integration is against the Lord. That's how you know integration is wrong. Because if the Lord sanctified you or set you apart, separated you from all these nations, why do you want to integrate with them? You're not supposed to be in the melting pot. When you be in the melting pot, God hates the melting pot. He hates the soup. You understand? Go to John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil. Martin Luther King's father named him after a white man. His name is not Martin Luther. His name is Michael. For those who don't know, Martin Luther King is not even his name on his birth certificate. His name is Michael King. His father, if I'm not mistaken, he was a Lutheran, which is like some type of religious sect started by Martin Luther. I think he's not mistaken. He's like some type of German or whatever the case is. His father renamed himself and his son after Luther. You understand? His name was Michael. But y'all know him as Martin Luther King. See, this is the thing. In the I.S.U.P.K, will get the universal and practical knowledge that you're not being taught in any miseducational institution out there. You understand? Damn right. Shay said Esau women are disgusting. Well, it's not just Esau. All the Hamites are disgusting as well. The Hamites, the Moabites, the Elamites, the Arabs, the Polynesians. They're disgusting and stupid. The proof is where? We had COVID because people were eating rats and bats. Do you think that stopped the Asians from eating rats and bats? Of course not. It didn't stop them. Not only are they disgusting, but they're idiots. And we're going to show you as well that we're the only smart nation in that us, you understand, us intermingling with these nations, we're lowering ourselves to their levels, which we're going to show you right now. Let's read that again. John 8:44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. This is what you want to do. You want to integrate because white people told you to. You were never supposed to integrate. Listen, the Most High separated the nations even before the Israelites were on the face of the earth. Yes, from the Tower of Babel, the Most High divided up. The Most High was always against integration. He was always against everybody mixing together. He was always against the melting pot. You give him a soup and it's the melting pot, he threw it away. You understand? And this is what you do. You follow Martin Luther King's footsteps, who followed the white man. What did the Most High say? And ye shall keep my statutes and do them. I am the Lord which sanctify you. To sanctify, to render holy and separate, the Lord separated you from all these nations. Who gathered you? Who told you to be integrated? Whose footstep Martin Luther King followed? The white man's footstep. He was of his father, the devil. You understand? And you claim to be proud Haitian, proud Jamaican, and this and that. Listen, y'all sacrificing the integrity of your people for what? For a citizenship when you're still going to get deported? Listen, y'all sacrificing the integrity of your people to sleep with fat white women to get your papers to be in the US, in Canada, or the UK, and you're still getting deported. Or you commit some stupid crime and you're in jail. Or she just calls the cops on you for whatever the hell, for whatever reason, and you still go to jail. Guess what? You can marry all the heathens you want. You're still going to be oppressed, and they will never regard you as an equal, ever. You understand? Here's a perfect example, right? A lot of y'all who sleep with heathens, not only will you abandon your culture, but they will never compromise their culture to adopt yours. Matter of fact, they will steal from your culture. Look at Burna Boy. Burna Boy is doing dancehall, and he's going after the sisters like Jada Kingdom and them. What's the other sister? Stefflon Don. Burna Boy is stealing their culture. What is he giving back to the Jamaican community after taking sisters away from us? Nothing. More oppression from the Nigerians. That's it. For those who want to sleep with white women, these same white women that you may sleep with, whether they're Trump supporters or not, is irrelevant. You're still getting oppressed on both sides of the political party. Same way in Canada. The liberals or the conservatives, you're still getting oppressed regardless. You're a native and you marry a white woman, you're not getting their land back. Ever. You understand? It's the same everywhere. If you think that, matter of fact, y'all go get the book. I'm going to recommend a book for y'all. It's called Black Face and White Masks. It's from the Martinican psychologist. His name is Frantz Fanon. I'm going to put a picture on the screen. Yeah. He explains to you why are we so inclined into mixing, especially with white people, because we want to be on their level. We'll never be part of Caucasian society. Doesn't matter what political party you adhere to, you support. If you marry with them, that's irrelevant. You're still a nigger in their eyes. You're still a savage and a spick, and nothing is going to change. Not in their kingdom, at least. You understand? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. So you could understand that You are lowering yourself to their level when you marry with them. You are the greatest people on the face of the earth, but you want to marry a people who is known for what? Eating rats? You want to marry with a people who's known to worship cats, elephants? You want to marry the people who are known to be the greatest mass murderer on the face of the earth? Good night. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and Girgashites and Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. For those who are inquiring on who are these nations just mentioned, they're all African tribes. You understand? They're all African tribes. Let's keep reading. Verse 2, when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. You're never supposed to mix. Listen, we're going into a land we're not supposed to live side by side with the heathens. The Most High say we're going to clear off the land. Right? We're going to understand why further down later this class, why are we not supposed even to be mixing with the heathens? And why, if we're not supposed to be mixing with the heathens, why are we living amongst them today? We're going to see that later as well. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, no shew mercy unto them. Listen, ain't no peace treaties with them. You understand? We're not supposed to make any peace treaties, or you stay on your side and we're stay right here, and, you know, we're exchanging sheep every week, whatever the case is, to keep the peace. Not this, you know, you're supposed to be off the land. We are supposed to be here. The Most High said, that's for us, we're taking it. He's giving it to us. You understand? Verse 3, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. We're not supposed to intermarry with any heathens. We're not. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son. Listen, you're not supposed to let your daughters marry any heathen. That seed afterwards, that baby that comes out, is the seed of its father. Why do you think even all the nations know this? All the nations know this is why they don't like when their kids are marrying outside their race, especially when it comes to the daughter. Why? Because even though the son marry another nation than their own nation, the seed is still his. The kid is the seed of his father. But if it's their daughter, listen, you could be excommunicated from the whole fucking land, Salakia. Why? Because the baby is the seed of the father. That's why. You understand? Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, even if that offspring is of the seed of its father. It did not matter. You still are not supposed to marry any heathen. It's talking about interracial marriages. And if you think it's only talking about African tribes, guess what? Solomon did not marry just Africans. Solomon married Moabites, modern day Chinese. He married Edomites, a white woman. It didn't matter. You're not supposed to marry with heathens. You're going to understand why in a second. Verse 4, for they will turn away thy son from following me. That's why. Guess what? You're going to marry with heathens. You're going to go to work. While you're at work, that Arabic wife is teaching your sons and daughters the ways of Islam. That East Indian wife you have is teaching your sons and daughters the way of worshiping the transgender god Shiva. Your wife, good night. Jeezy's wife was probably feeding the kids cats and dogs while he had his back turned. Who knows? That's why you're not supposed to be following heathens, because marrying heathens, because they will turn away your offspring from following the Most High. Solomon's heart got turned away from following the Most High because he married heathens and he compromised his integrity. Why? For the love of his wife. Whichever wives. He started worshiping after their God. They're going to influence you. You understand? You're going to love your wife. Ain't nothing wrong with loving your wife. Ain't nothing wrong with loving your husband. But guess what? Eve is going to be beguiled to, instead of supporting her people, she's going to say all lives matter. And if she does say Black Lives Matter, don't you think that her husband will not remind her that it's all not about Black lives, but about all lives, and she will bow down to him? Yes, she will. Because she loves him. It's that simple. Deuteronomy 7:4, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Every single time we got destroyed because we follow the heathens. We're supposed to be separate because the Most High made us separate. We're not supposed to integrate with any heathen. It don't matter. Skin folk is not kinfolk. It does not matter if you are the lightest African on the face of the earth, the darkest Polynesian. You're not our people because we have melanin. Everybody has melanin. Caucasians just have less melanin than anyone else in the world. That's it. But everybody has melanin, so that's irrelevant. You understand? We don't have the same culture. We don't have the same custom. We don't have the same God. We have one true, the only one true living God, and y'all worship woods and stones and water and elephants and hippos. We're not supposed to follow after you. You understand? Because that's what happens when you will be influenced by the heathens you marry, whether you like it or not. It's inevitable. They say there's a Kardashian curse. There's no Kardashian curse. Listen, I'm gonna show you the curse that Lamar Odom, Kanye West, and any brother that fell with a Kardashian or a Jenner fell under. I'm gonna show you right now. Right? Let's jump down to verse 6 real quick. And then I'm gonna show you the curse that they're under. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. We already broke down what holy meant. It means to be separate. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. See, if you take something special and you just throw it with the regular things, how is it special? You're special, not supposed to mix amongst everybody. You understand? That you're not the little, how you call it again? Let me give you an example. All these nations are like canned tuna. You're the grilled red snapper. You're not equal to the canned tuna. Canned tuna is unlawful. It's to be thrown away. I would not even feed my dog canned tuna. I would not feed my dog tuna anyways. I'm not even, I know it's a dog. The laws don't apply to her, but I don't have any clean foods in my house, even if it's just for the dog. The point is, these nations are canned tuna. You're the red snapper. You understand? These nations are the craft dinner, and you're the mac and cheese that was made by some southern country hands. You understand? These nations are worthless. They don't mean nothing. They stink. They're disgusting. They're horrible. They're abominable. And you're the greatest thing on the face of the earth. You're special. Let's keep reading. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. This is proof that you hate yourself when you go with another nation and you lower yourself to their level. Listen, Eve is part of the nation that is the greatest and the smartest above all the nations on the face of the earth. And she lowered herself to a nation that Christ compared literally to dogs. Christ called the white woman a dog, and she married a dog. That's damn near bestiality. Literally. Eve married the nation who technically made bestiality legal. Y'all don't Google it. Yes, white people made it so that they could marry their dogs. And this is who Eve decided to live the rest of her life with. These people eat raw meat. You understand? Since Genesis. This is the people who Eve decided to associate. Listen, this is the same people who, during slavery, let's say there was a time machine, right? During slavery, Eve would have been pregnant, hung by the foot with her belly slit open and the baby inside her belly snatched out and bashed across the tree trunks or fed to the gators. By who? By her husband, by that white man that she married. Yes, that's who she married. Guess what? You married an Arab? It ain't different. It's not like they never had us as slaves. The Africans literally ate us, literally, just like the white people did in slavery. We're gonna marry Ethiopian because it's closer to the motherland and whatever stupidness you say. It's all the same. All these nations had a hand in our oppression and captivity. And all they do is take advantage of you. That's it. That's all they do. From that American football player that looks like a sodomite who married a white woman who's a whore, to all these brothers that fell upon the quote-unquote Kardashian curse, which we're going to show you what the Kardashian curse is. You understand? It's all the same. These nations take advantage of you. And they keep you under a spell to make sure that you don't go back to serving the Most High. And the number one nation that puts you under that spell is the Caucasian nations. Using what? Christianity. God so loved the world. We are all equal. When were we all equal? When have we ever been equal? Listen, the Most High said we are a separate people above all people on the face of the earth. That doesn't sound like equality. It sounds like racism. Imagine the people saying, listen, my people is the best and we're above all the nations. That's racist. The Most High is racist. He's righteously racist. You understand? Now let me show you that Kardashian curse that these brothers fell under. The Kardashian curse is in the Bible. Want me to show you? I'm going to show you the Kardashian curse. How? Why Lamar Odom was a crackhead. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how they say Kanye West was crazy with Kim Kardashian or whatever the case is. You want to see the Kardashian curse? The Kardashian curse has been prophesied. For context, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. Right? Again, if you want to read up to verse 1, from verse 1 down to verse 14, it's all about the blessings if we listen to the Most High. But Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15, it says, but it shall come to pass, which means it shall happen, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, meaning if we do the opposite and we disobey or don't listen to the Most High, to observe to do all his commandments and statutes which I command thee this day. If we do what he told us not to do, and if we don't do what he told us to do, meaning if we just don't follow the instructions, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Don't get it twisted. The Kardashian curse is not something the Kardashian put on any brother out here. The Kardashian curse, you understand, is really the curse of Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's jump down to verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. This is what y'all call a Kardashian curse today. To all the brothers that have been dating the Kardashian, to all of y'all that really date heathens, to all y'all that marry heathens, this it's not a Kardashian curse. It's not a heathen curse. It's the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. You understand? Y'all go crazy for these white women, for these Arabs, for these Africans. Y'all, listen, which one of these brothers again? It doesn't just apply for interracial marriage. This is all manner of sin. This is why we're destroyed today, because we disobeyed the Most High. But again, this is why Lamar Odom was a crackhead. This is why it's also Kanye West was crazy or whatever the case is. He's not more sane right now after leaving Kim Kardashian because it's not a Kardashian curse that he fell under. It's the curses of the Lord. You understand? That's what it is. Today, a lot of these brothers and sisters will be shocked. Damn, how are we in 2025 and we re-elected Donald Trump? Listen, the same white woman that you are with right now is a Trump supporter. She will not compromise her gender or her integrity for her people just for you. Never she will compromise her race. Where's the proof? Donald Trump said grab him by the box and they still voted for Trump. It doesn't matter. She's married to a black man, she still voted for Trump. You understand? Myself, Officer Kazak Ahmad, Officer Rakaria, and myself, I remember we spoke to some white man on TikTok. His name was the Tokenizer. And guess what? He was a Trump supporter married to a black woman. And listen, that's the problem. It's right in our face. But because we're so destroyed, we can't see. We're been smitten with what? With blindness. We can't even see that it's right in our face that there's will be such thing as equality. These people will never love us. It doesn't matter if they sleep with us or not. Listen, Nigerians are out here saying that black women, they're talking about so-called African Americans, they say they're only good for sex. They will never marry any of them. That's literally what they say. There's an Asian woman, she's on Instagram, she's saying she's infatuated with black men. She loves how black men look. She loves the way we dress. She loves the way we talk. She loves the way we walk and everything. She's in love with black men, but she could never marry a black man. She will marry a Chinese regardless. Why? Because she said she could never compromise the integrity for her race. She's not a traitor. It doesn't matter how much she loves black men, how much she claims that we make the best music, we look the best, our hair texture is the best. You understand? We have the best flavor. But she will never, ever, ever compromise her race for her lust. You know the only people who do that? So-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Because we've been robbed of our culture. That Chinese woman still has a culture. She still has her identity. We don't. We think in our head, this is the perfect song, right? That plays in our head. How we've been conditioned today. Michael Jackson, we are the world and we are the children. We think we are the world. You understand? That's what we think. This is literally how we live, that we're all equal, that we are the world, we're all the children of God, and all type of nonsense that Michael Jackson, who hated himself, you understand, sang about. That's what's playing in our head all the time. That's the message a Christian church pushes. Really, we are the world. What world? World means age of society. So what world are we? You understand? World doesn't mean the whole planet Earth. It never did. The Bible, when it says, John 3:16, that God so loved the world, it was talking about the world of Israel. You understand? The society of the Israelites. When Michael Jackson sang about we are the world, whose world? What world are we part of? The white man's world. The white man's society. The white man's empire. So when we sing in our head, we are the world, just think about equality, whatever the case is, we're talking about we're part of white society when we will never be. Not, at least not on the same level as them at all. Where's the proof? It's 2025. You're still getting lynched and there's still talks about white privilege. Why in 2025 do we still have to talk about white privilege and not human privilege? Aren't we all the world? Aren't we all human? Aren't we all equal? There's no such thing as equal privilege, human privilege. No, it's only white privilege. White people have white privilege outside of the countries they conquered. Outside of Canada, outside of America, outside of France and Britain, they have white privilege in South and Central America. They have white privilege in the deepest part of Africa. There, people is like, damn, it's the white person. We're so privileged to have the white person come and film us being savages in the savannah. They have white people filming Polynesians eating whatever they're catching in the bushes. They're privileged to be filmed, and white people are going to make us famous, and they're going to show our culture to the world. Listen, these Polynesians would eat you alive if you would go there. White people have white privilege everywhere they go. So we are the world is we are of the white man's world. The Most High hates the white man's world and is coming to an end. Where's the proof? Y'all see California burning down to a crisp? And you want to marry the people whose empire is burning down to a crisp? You want to marry the people who built their empire off of your blood, sweat, and tears? Listen, the Most High is going to destroy their empire, whether you like it or not. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick, yeah? Let's go to Salakia. What is it again? Is it Micah? Or it's Habakkuk. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. It says, woe to him. Woe means what? Woe means to death and destruction. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. Listen, that's why California is burning down right now. Listen, last year, because of the forest fires in Canada, y'all were looking at New York like it was the apocalypse. Come to find out, all that smoke came from Canada. It came from Quebec. Good night. Hey, I'm not even going to give you a spoiler alert. Y'all just tune into the history class this Sunday. You'll understand why we had forest fires raging, blazing last year in Quebec. Yeah? But this is the thing. Woe to him that built a city, that built a town with blood. All these cities were built on the blood, sweat, and tears of so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Whether the Cristo Redentor in Brazil, right? Mexico City, Cancun. You understand? All these resorts in Jamaica, Barbados. Listen, you think Haiti's looking like a third world country? Not the whole part of Haiti looks like that. Some places in Haiti look like Miami. Guess what? Those places were built off of the blood, sweat, and tears of the Haitian people, of the Taino people. You understand? And established a city by iniquity. Listen, Eve, newsflash, your white man's kingdom, it will be destroyed because it's built off of the blood, sweat, and tears of your people. Whether you like it or not, there's nothing you can do. You understand? Nothing at all. It is inevitable. Stop trying to fix white people, especially not by marrying them. And you see, again, it's not a black or white issue, but this is the people you fight to save all the time, to say, you know what? We could save them by marrying them and teach them our ways. This is what fake Israelites say. We're going to teach the heathens. We're going to teach the heathens. We're going to save them. Listen, the heathens, we're going to show you the place of the heathens in the kingdom, because everyone will be in the kingdom. Everyone. Everyone will not be in heaven, though. That's what they're not telling you, because that's not what the Bible says. Not everybody will be in heaven. You understand? These nations will serve us or die. It's not my personal opinion. I'm doing what everyone else who's able to read could do, which is read the Bible. But then, on top of that, we comprehend it. We understand it. We understand the context of it, unlike the Christian church. And for those in the Christian church who understand the context, because not everybody is as stupid as every single Christian, they lie. You understand? Let's go back to it real quick. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city with iniquity. Salakia. By iniquity. Listen, those nations, everybody who took part in helping these Caucasians to build this empire is coming down. Ain't nothing you could do about it at all. You could cry about it if you feel like it, but listen, I'm gonna show you what they will do in the kingdom. If you really want to know what they will do in the kingdom, no sweat. Those same nations you lust for will be in the kingdom, but ain't no marrying in the kingdom with them. The kingdom is going to be tolerance zero. Right now we're in their period of grace, where if you have that woman, it is what it is. Don't show her away because she's a heathen. You got her, keep her. Just go get yourself 2-3 more sisters, of course. You understand? But let me show you the place of the heathen in the kingdom. Because she's married to you, it's not going to save her at all. Whatever heathen you already married, you're not saving them from anything. You understand? At all. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, not on all the whole planet Earth, on Jacob. Who's Jacob? The fourth of the Israelites, the 12 tribes. And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Why? Because the Most High separated us, and we're going to remain separate. Again, I'm going to show you again why we're not separate today, why we're in the midst of all the heathens today. We're going to understand that as well. And the Most High made it so for a certain period of time until we're in the kingdom, where, just like we just read, we'll be set in our own land again. Salakia. And the strangers shall be joined with them. Who's the strangers? It's the heathen nations. The heathens you love so much. You love them because they show that they're powerful. They're only powerful because you disobey the Most High and you follow after them. That's why they're powerful. Really, they're not special. They're really not strong and smart. The proof that they're not strong and smart is that they needed us to fight in their wars. They cannot win the wars without us, and they cannot even invent the doorknob. Something as simple as a doorknob they cannot invent. Which is what? This is the proof that the heathens are stupid. It's not rocket science to invent a doorknob. And like we invented the broom and the dustpan. I have to remind y'all, we invented the broom and the dustpan, which shows you what? These people are really stupid. You know how stupid they were? They invented a phrase, Salaki, real quick. They invented a phrase during the Middle Ages, right? During the Renaissance, they invented a phrase. I think they say, don't throw away the baby with the bath water or something like that. Why? Because unlike today, they didn't have like a draining system. So they used to bathe in the bathtub and not change the water until the water got dirty. When the water got dirty, they just throw it away, by the window. And guess what? They used to throw away the babies with them, with the dirty water. Here comes the phrase, don't throw the baby with the bath water, or whatever the phrase is. But that's where it comes from. These people are nasty and they're stupid. Literally. You understand? Listen, before, I think they used to make makeup with like arsenic or bleach or whatever. You understand? Green was like one of their favorite colors at the time. It was popular. There was all types of chemical in the green that they put in their clothes, and there were so many house fires. Why? Because all the lamps were gas lamps, and when there was not a house fire, well, you're inhaling all the gas. Literally, people are literally, they're stupid. We're the smart people on the face of the earth. That's what the Bible says. Without the Bible, you could prove it. Listen, besides the doorknob, you will not have a fridge without, you would not even be on the moon without black people. You would not have a proper sewer system without so-called Hispanics. That's modeled after the Mayan, I forgot what's the word again, but the sewer system was modeled after the Mayans and the Aztecas. They're nothing but good at taking advantage of us. That's it. They're not smart. Again, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, will yet choose Israel. Throughout the Bible, Israel is chosen from the Old to the Apocrypha to the New Testament. and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Let's read verse 2. Let's see where will be these strangers. What will they do? And Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. We will set them in their place. You understand? That's what they will be. We will be separate regardless. In the kingdom will not because you lust for a white woman. You understand? For all these heathens that you'll be joining the kingdom with them and marry them. Fake Israelites tell yes, you can marry heathens because they're going to be our concubines. Not understand that concubines, right? They say that we went to war with heathens and we will have them as concubines. No. The concubine is a wife that you acquire, you understand, after a war. But guess what? Israel had civil wars. Issachar and Benjamin go to war and they each acquire concubines is because they marry with the other tribe after the war. You understand? We did not marry heathens. The Most High, Salakia, we did not lawfully, there was not any heathen marriage or interracial marriage that was ever permitted. You want to say Moses? Moses married the heathen before he had the law. He didn't know better. You understand? Don't listen to these fake Israelites who will induce you to sin. They're just like Martin Luther King. They're horny angels. They are, they're horn dogs. That's it. No more, none less. They're just lustful bastards. And they're no bad. They're Christian. They're Christians with fringes. That's all they are. Salakia. Let's keep reading. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Listen, this is where the heathens will be. They will not share the bed with you, but they will be on the plantation with you, and you will oversee them. You will be the master on the plantation. Listen, maybe I don't want a cotton plantation, but I do want y'all to cut the sugarcane like my ancestors cut the sugarcane in the Caribbean. Make me all the rum. Salakia. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. That's where the heathens will be. We will rule over our oppressors. Who are our oppressors? It's not a black or white issue. The Arabs oppressed us, and they still do. The East Indians, the Asians, the Polynesians, I think they're probably going to be the heathens that were less oppressed because they had the least hand in our oppression, but we will still rule over them. You understand? Tawada Matamiyad, by the way, yeah. You understand? Without us, if I'm not mistaken, like Matamiyad said, listen, everything great, it comes from us. Everything great. You understand? These heathens are stupid. That's the point. Let me show you this. No matter how much heathens you think you're going to marry, in the kingdom, it's not going to fly. In the kingdom, sin will not fly. Right? They're going to have to work for us regardless or die. That's what it says. Go to Isaiah real quick, chapter 60. Let's go to verse 10. Isaiah 60 and 10. And the sons of strangers, the same strangers who will be in the kingdom as per Isaiah 14 and 1, 14 and 2, these heathens, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. Listen, you're gonna build my house. Listen, me and Matamiad, I'm gonna go on the land of Matamiad, Banyashikar, like SHALAM Yabashashbrakata. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna drink some horchata, some tequila, some strong, sit down in the shade, right? Just being mesmerized as the heathen building a fence for Matamia's horses, building a stable. We're like, Matamia, these heathens are working good. Maybe they're not working fast enough, Ak. Maybe they should work faster than that because, I feel like they're not working hard enough for you. You understand? Just let me know if you need help to get them in line. You know, the point is they're going to build our walls. They're going to build fences for us. They're going to build my house. They're going to build Officer Baja's house. They're going to build Officer Adayar wants a palace. I'm not like Officer Adayar. Officer Adayar, he wants a palace with 100 ribs. They're going to build every single inch of the palace for Officer Adayar. Or die. What? Because we died for not picking cotton, for being late, because we were sick or on the verge of death. They slaughtered us for that. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I have mercy on thee. Listen, these nations will build up our walls or give up the ghost. You understand? Day and night. Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually. Salakia, Isaiah chapter 60, verse 11. Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day or night. Just like we worked day and night to build Egypt. You understand? All these kingdoms we were subservient to, we didn't catch a break. They will not catch a break. Matamiel might be, you know, taking a quick nap on his long chair. I'm like, you know, I'm not even gonna wake him up. I'm gonna see a heathen just taking a break because his master Matamiel is taking a break. I'm like, you understand? You're gonna work overtime. You're already doing overtime. You're gonna work over the time. You're gonna work. They say 24/7. You're gonna work 24/24. 24/7, you're gonna work 24/9. Don't ask me about the math. You're just gonna overwork. That's it. Render double or triple the work. Why? Because it says, they shall not be shut day or night. Who told you to take a break? Matamia Day say take a break. Listen, it's his plantation. I'm not gonna tell you to take a break. He fell asleep. No sweat. Let him rest. You don't get to rest. It's like we never got to rest. We still don't get to rest today. Listen, may he rise again. My one of my brethren, Gustavo, was unalived on a wine plantation in Vancouver, Canada. Why did he have to be on the wine plantation? Because the white man is the devil. That's why. Because we're oppressed. Today, Jamaicans are still being deported, yet they're sending here. They still want them here by the boatloads. Why? Because Asians are not going to pick the fruits. You know who's going to pick the fruits over here in Canada? The same people who pick the fruits over there in California. Mexicans, and we have Benjamites, Haitians, we're in the fields picking all the strawberries, all the oranges, all the fruits day and night so that white people enjoy fresh fruits in the supermarket to make their sodomite smoothies. You understand? Just so you could have a orange sorbet, an orange ice cream, we have to be oppressed in the fields in 2025. We never left the fields. We're still on the plantations. It's no different. The taskmaster used to be on the horseback. The taskmaster today is in a car or a tractor. That's it. We're still the same people in the plantations, just like we're the same people in the plantations in Canada, in the US, in Brazil, in Nicaragua, in Dominican Republic. It's all the same. It never changed. We're still in captivity, believe it or not. You understand? Let's get back to the topic again, right? You need to understand this. Segregation is inevitable. As you're seeing right now, there is being a power shift. The white man is losing its grip on the face of the earth. Everybody is realizing that they can't mix with these people. You can't integrate with these people. The Arab world was like, listen, y'all bombing Palestinians, we standing with the Palestinians. You know, integration is over with. What makes you think that you can save integration by marrying heathens? You know, you will not. You think because the East Indians are flooding in Canada, marrying them will save you from East Indian racism? No. All skinfolk is not kinfolk. East Indians despise you them as much as white people despise you. You understand? They're not going to compromise their nation because, it's a melting pot over here. They don't care. Listen, there's this clip. This man said, I'm not pledging allegiance to the queen. That was before the crown, the woman with the crown passed away. He said, I'm not pledging allegiance to her. Listen, we should make Canada a Muslim country. This is what the man said. We should make Canada a Muslim country. I'm not pledging allegiance to no one. I answer to Allah and Allah only. That's what he said. No nation is compromising their culture, besides blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. The reason why we're compromising our culture and our integrity is because we have none. We've been robbed of it. The lost 12 tribes are not lost anymore since 1969. You understand? And this is what we're doing. We're giving you back the knowledge that you understand who you are, what you should and should not do. What you should do, stick with your people. What you should not do is mingle with the other people. And I'm going to show you where exactly it says that you really hate your own when you mingle with these people. We're going to go into the book of Tobit, Salakia, Tobit chapter 4, yeah? Salakia, good night. I was out there, I said there's a video where white supremacists are cursing a white woman for having a black baby. Listen, you're a nigger lover. You know how shameful it is to be a nigger lover or a spick lover or a savage lover? That's what you are, And then you're like, damn, my family hates me because I married a black man. I had a black baby. Listen, a lot of y'all have family members that will say they will unalive your baby if you ever come to a family function with a baby that's too dark for them. You understand? This is the reality of it. And you as a black, Hispanic, or Native man, don't be shocked that your wife's family is saying this, Don't be shocked. It's in their nature. It's like I was going to go and Tobit, but the water, I'll say, out of yard, I'm going to show you where it's in their nature to just be despicable and just hate you in the first place. It's never going to change. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 5 real quick. Salakia chapter 35, verse 5, yeah? Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Eve, just know that all these Caucasian people at the table at your Christmas dinner had a perpetual hatred for your people from the beginning until the end. You understand? And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Why? Because this is the end of our punishment. You understand? And they took advantage of that, of how destroyed we are, to oppress us even more. And real quick, I'm going to respond to this comment. Texas native said, Hispanic men practice the same racism, goofy la raza. First of all, la raza means the race, the people. And that term is not racist. But guess what? Hispanics are racist among each other. They have a term called paisa. The Chicanos don't like the paisas who are from Mexico or wherever they come from, Peru and so on and so forth. And vice versa. The paisa think, well, these people have been whitewashed. Just like in the Caribbean, the people who live in the continent of Europe despise the people of the islands and vice versa. What you're saying really is that you're showing, you Texas native, I'm assuming with that picture you believe in the gay gods of Egypt, right? The Egyptians were racist, not because they were conditioned to be racist. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters were conditioned to be racist. You understand? Against their own. It's not even racist if it is against your own, really. You just hate your own people. We were conditioned to hate each other. You understand? Y'all go get the book. I don't have the book right next to me right now, do I? Yeah. Good night. The book Black Indians, amongst other books. You understand? You will see where laws were put in place since slavery by the Spanish crown to divide so-called Negroes and indigenous people, whether it was before or after the reclassification, right? Laws are put in place to divide us from slavery. We used to intermingle with each other. You understand? So you're not making sense. Hispanic men practice the same racism. Where, first of all, it's not racist because it's their own people. Well, where did they got the hate from? Just so you know, Texas native, Texas is Mexico, right? And as a matter of fact, when it became annexed by Caucasian people, guess what? Black slaves fled to modern day Mexico. And Mexico went to war because they would not give up the slaves. They said, nah, these slaves are our brothers. We're not giving them up. We're not giving them back. We're going to war. We die for these brothers. The same way these Mexicans died for these brothers, we're dying for Mexicans. What are you talking about? See, that's the problem. The problem is, right, that you're just like Martin Luther King. You've been brainwashed by the oppressor. Who told you Hispanics, again, I see what Matamiya is saying, that they're not Hispanics. Hispanic is really just a broad term to say Spanish-speaking people. Really, Hispanics, Latinos, whether it's Mexicans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Peruvians, who told you they hated black men? The same people who told them that black men ain't shit and they're violent and they're nothing but, you know, criminals. The white man told you that. The white man pushed the propaganda of whatever they have of the image of the black men in their mind, just like they push a propaganda of Mexicans are taking all the jobs. You're not working in the fields. As last time I checked, which so-called Texas native is working in the fields? Which job are the Mexicans taking? Mexicans are working jobs that nobody wants, and you complain and taking all the jobs. Why don't you take a job that a Mexican is usually taking? Why don't you work in landscaping? Why don't you work in Home Depot? Why don't you work in the fields? Go do that then, and then we'll see if a Mexican is just replacing you. Why? A lot of people who say Mexicans are taking all the jobs, guess what? They're taking a job that requires to speak Spanish. Do you speak Spanish fluently? See, that's the problem with people. They say the stupid things that the white man teaches them, and they think they're smart. Well, they're trying to better the race. Yeah, the Spaniards implemented that. You see, listen, y'all not talking to random niggas or passport bro who just want to sleep with Latinas and whatever the case is. We know that blacks and Hispanics and so-called Native Americans are brothers and sisters. We're one people, one race. Just like these Mexicans fought for black people during slavery, we will fight for them to the death. You understand? We're not conditioned to where, oh, well, they speak Spanish, so they hate us. You speak English, just like you speak English for the same reason they speak Spanish. You understand? You're not making no sense. Nosotros somos una raza misma, una gente misma. You need me to say it in French the same way. On est un et même peuple. We're the same people. So, if you hate so-called Mexicans or any Spanish-speaking people that are the 12 tribes of Israel, Portuguese-speaking people like the Brazilians, you understand, Creole-speaking people like Haitians or Benjamites, listen, you love the white man, and you are of your father the devil, just like John says. You understand? Just like John chapter 8 verse 44 says, you are of your father the devil, and you follow after white people. As a matter of fact, just based on the picture you have of Egyptians, homosexuals, I guarantee you follow white people, because white people taught you that you were an Egyptian. Not even the Africans taught you that. White people did. You understand? But let's get back on topic. Let me show you the self-hatred that you have if you don't marry with your own people. It literally says in the Bible that you hate your people if you don't marry with them. So guess what? If you love your people, listen, send me all the Mexican women. Y'all need your papers? I'll marry all of y'all. I'll marry all of y'all. I'll marry all the Brazilian women, all the Colombians. You understand? The point is, Marry with your race. If you marry outside your race, you hate your nation. Let's go to the book of Tobit. What I say? Tobit, I said again, chapter 4, Salakia. Tobit chapter 4, we'll go to verse 12. Right? Let's start there. Tobit chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, meaning marry with your own nation. Take not a strange woman to wife. That means don't marry a heathen. Absolutely not. The strangers and the strange woman, you need to understand when it comes to dealing with strangers, understand the context. Right now, it's talking about a heathen, a woman that is not of your nation, that is not of any of the 12 tribes. It's talking about a woman that is not Mexican. It's talking about a Spaniard. It's talking about a woman that is not Brazilian. It's talking about a Portuguese. You understand? It's talking about Bob Marley's offspring, because he is not a brother. He is of the seed of his father, meaning what? His offspring, the same way he's of the seed of his father, they're of his seed, and he's of Caucasian seed. Salakia. Let's keep reading. Which is not of thy father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The same way, we're not supposed, and y'all so-called woke niggas, Salakia, always talking about honoring the ancestors. Listen, your ancestors, honor your ancestors by not marrying outside your race. How about that? Don't be a hypocrite. Don't stop smoking weed and playing with crystals, like, opening your third eye. Or, listen, you're opening your third eye. You can't see that. All you're doing is stupidness. Right? Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred. That's how you honor your ancestors. You know how? You don't marry outside your race. And that's for all so-called Latinos, Incas, Aztecas, whatever the case is, right? Don't marry outside your race. That's how you honor your ancestors. That's how you better the race. It's already the best. Don't water it down by marrying outside your race. And we're blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Listen, Eve, her children will never inherit the land. Eve, listen, newsflash, your children are going to captivity because they are of the seed of their fathers. Whether you like it or not, I didn't write the Bible. Frankly, I'm not a hater of your music. I'm not even a fan. Anyways, the point is, all of our sisters who have kids, who love their kids, love your kids. Don't hate them, because even if you come to the truth, don't hate your kids because they're the seed of their heathen father. Just know that they're going into captivity according to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1 and 2, and Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. This is why it's so important to know who you're sleeping with, right? Let's go to verse 13. Verse 13 says what? Now, Tobit chapter 4, verse 13. Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people. You hate your people. You hate yourself and your people. This is self-hatred when you marry outside your race. Let's read it again. Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, in not taking a wife of them. This is what happens when you marry outside your race. You show that you hate your race. You hate your own. You hate the person that you see in the mirror every day. You hate your own reflection. You wish you could be white. You really pray that you could be white. Matter of fact, you don't pray. Even if you did, the Most High is not listening to you. Y'all are wishing that you could be right. in the UPK, in Israelite culture, we don't wish for nothing. We pray the Lord. You understand? We're not running out of luck. The Lord is with us or he's not. Our wishes are not exhausted. Listen, our prayers are answered. And I pray for the destruction of this empire every day. I pray for the destruction of the empire of the people you decide to marry every day. You understand? I pray that my people wake up and stop hating themselves by marrying other nations every day. Let's read it one more time. Tobit 4:13. Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them. Listen, not because it's talking about a son not taking a wife of his people, that it doesn't apply to our women not marrying a man of their people. It's the same. When it's talking about brotherhood, it's also talking about sisterhood. You understand? Listen, it's no different. You want to know what's the difference? Is that, let's say you did marry a heathen. Now you wake up to the truth. Don't throw her away unless it be for fornication. But you could take yourself another wife. Our sisters are stuck with that heathen for life until he dies. That's the only difference. But you, whether it's Eve or any of the brothers marrying a Kardashian or any brother and sister marrying a heathen, you just hate your people. That Bible is our book. You understand? If the Bible is all about loving everybody like the Christian church preaches, why are we not supposed to, intermarry or intermingle with other nations? I thought the Bible is for everybody, right? God loves everybody. God loves the world. Well, why can't we marry every single nation on the face of the earth if God so-called loved the world? Because the Bible is not for every single nation. It's for the Israelites only. The Israelites are forbidden to marry with any nation out here that is not their own. It's that simple. Let's keep reading. For in pride is destruction and much trouble. Listen, all you niggas out here, y'all are making it. Y'all are, ballers or whatever the case is. Y'all are famous, so on and so forth. The first thing you do is marry a white woman. I made it to the big leagues. I'm a millionaire. All I'm missing now is a white woman by my side. Listen, for in pride is destruction and much trouble. Good night. Let's get that real quick. Yeah. Pride, because listen, you're so proud and boastful. You're not realizing really you're an idiot. Listen, that white woman is gonna run you down to the ground. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Y'all so proud, but yeah, she's plotting from the beginning. Listen, there's a clip of this white woman talking about, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna marry a rich black man and put him on child support and this and that, and I'm gonna divorce him after like a year or two. Yeah. You think, you know what? All you are missing is a white woman by your side? They're all plotting on you. I'm gonna marry this black man, and after a year, I'm gonna be able to say the N-word. Yeah. Do you think that's not in their mind? That's really, listen, they don't care. If they did, they'd kiss your boots and they would tell you we can't marry. They'll tell you, listen, we heard about these crazy niggas on the streets on the internet called the I.S.U.P.K. You should be in their class. We cannot marry. That's what they would tell you. You understand? If they really claim that they loved you, they really claim they're honest, they're sincere, that's what they would tell you. And to tell you, listen, go with them, follow their protocols, whatever the protocol is. If we see you on the street, preaching in the streets, you understand, I'm bow down and kiss your boots. That's what they would tell you. But you think you could save white people? You think You could save this empire coming down. You think you have the cure for racism. You don't have the cure for something God made. God deems us righteous. How do we know he deems us righteous? Because he told us to remain separate. He made us separate. He told us to remain separate. And no matter how much you want to try and save them and save their empire, you can't. You can't. It's in the Bible that you can't. I'm going to show you Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. For all you brothers and sisters marrying heathens, it does not matter how much you're trying to convert her to your culture. You will never be able to do so because you don't even know what your culture is. That's why. As opposed to them converting you to their culture, just like it happened with Solomon. Solomon married multiple women, and out of these multiple women were heathens who caused him to sin by worshiping their gods. That was Solomon's sin. Don't believe the church where Solomon's sin was having multiple wives. That's nowhere in the Bible. Solomon's sin, he could have had 1,000 wives and one was a heathen. It would still show that his sin was following the heathen and worshiping other gods. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. That white woman that you have by your side is not going to be unpunished. She will get it. Eve, your husband and his whole family will get it. You understand? But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Listen, Salakia. Also, Adia says, all love is sweet, but once the oppressor gets mad, they will use the N-word on their black partner. Listen, there's this clip on Facebook. A lot of y'all seen it. This white woman, she's bleeding from the mouth and saying, I apologize. And come to find out, well, it's not surprising. Her man is a white man. Listen, he did not hesitate to put hands on that woman. He did not. Whether she put hands on him or not, listen, you see the sister bleeding from the mouth and begging him not to hurt her further. That's what happens to you when you marry heathens. I remember the story in Colombia, right? A Colombian sister, she met this devil on Tinder. You understand? She ended up in pieces in a suitcase. Literally. The family said she disappeared and did not hear from her in months. Come to find out, she was in a suitcase in pieces, chopped up. This is what happens when you marry heathens. You want to marry an Arab man? I remember my first camp. I was still a trooper. First camp in Toronto. We seen these two sisters, right? One of them said she ended her relationship with an Arab man. Why? Because he was trying to convert her to Islam. You want to know something? Y'all Googled was it porta parties, whatever the case is. In Saudi Arabia, they will fly you sisters out and give you 10 bands so they could defecate in your mouth and do all type of sexual deviancy to you. That you're still viewed in 2025 as sex slaves to the Arabs. It never changed. But then again, you still decide to marry heathens. Why? Because you were told that God loves everybody and we're all equal and we're just humans. The Israelites are superhumans. You understand? Literally, we're a special people above all nations on the face of the earth. But you want to be as equal as to a people who would just defecate in your mouth for fun? This is the people who you want to be equal to? You want to be equal to a nation of pedophiles? Listen, this is the problem with our people. We want to be equal to a nation that is okay with rape. East Indians will not prosecute each other when they get caught for rape. They said it's too harsh of a sentence. Why? Because it's their culture. And this is who you want this is the people you want to, you want to be on the same level as. But you're supposed to be above all the nations. Let's go to, we're going to end the class real quick, right? Real soon. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. You're a smart nation, and these nations know it. That's why they keep you subservient to them. Because they want you to be as dumb as they are. You're really dumber than they are because they're dumb and you follow dumb people. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments Statutes are the law, the judgments are the punishments that comes with breaking these laws. Even as the Lord my God commanded me that you should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them. Salakia. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. This is how you differentiate how a nation is dumber than another, how a nation is wiser than another. We're the only wise nation on the face of all the earth. Listen, y'all go, this is what I think is in Kazakhstan or one of these countries. You know how they marry? They kidnap their wives. They go in a village, they kidnap the wife. If they manage to bring her back to their own village, that's their wife. That's literally how it happens. It's not flying in the nation of Israel. In a lot of these Arab countries, they still do the same thing their so-called prophet did. You understand? They still do. In Afghanistan, good night. In Afghanistan, they marry boys. It's called the Bacha boys. They dress them as little girls. They pick them off the streets, dress them as little girls to private parties, make them dance, wear makeup, and then, assault them. Salakia. That's not in our culture. But you want to lower yourself to the same level as the people who partake in these sexual deviant acts because you don't have the wisdom and understanding that you were provided. You rejected, which is the law, statutes, and commandments that's found in this Bible, which is not a white man book. You know what's a white man doctrine? Integration. Interracial relationships is the white man's doctrine. Let's keep reading. Which shall hear these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. These nations look at you like you're an idiot for marrying outside your race. If you would not marry outside your race, and if you would say, just like they say about their nation, that you are the best, they look at you like, you know what? They're smart. And you think like it's a bad thing to be viewed as a racist. Nobody views a Chinese, nobody talks bad about the Chinese when they separate themselves in every Chinatown. Chinese say they're the best. Nobody say, you know what, they're racist and despicable. Listen, Islam was pushed on Arab nationalism and Arab pride, and nobody said nothing. Y'all just said, well, it's violent. Y'all didn't say it was racist, though. Y'all didn't complain about the racism in Islam. Y'all didn't complain about Arab supremacy. You only complain about Black and Hispanic and Native supremacy. You're conditioned to be comfortable to be a slave. When these nations know you're the best, you're the smartest, and that's why they keep you that's how they're able to keep you subservient, by making you believe that, you know what, if you follow after them, it's good to be tolerant. It's good to, worship another god or whatever the case is. Really, it's not. They're just beguiling you. That's it. They're just being, talking smooth things to you. Yeah, you know what? It's good. You can live an alternative lifestyle. You don't have to live a normal lifestyle. You can live out of the norm. It's not. What's common is not normal. Understand this. These nations know that they will make you adhere to their beliefs to be able to oppress you even more than you already are. Because they know who you are. They know the moral code you're supposed to have. They know that you are a wise and understanding nation. They know that when you're not following this moral code, you're almost as dumb. You're dumber than they are. Listen, I see the sister. There's a clip of this sister. She went to China or one of these Asian countries. She said she's going to try the Asian culture. Yeah, she did go to China, actually. She's eating rat. All the Chinese, she thinks, you know what? Chinese are mesmerized by a Black woman in China, whatever the case is. They don't see them every day in China, probably, but at the end of the day, for them, it's funny that you actually can eat rat. Nations know, it's not your culture. The Africans, they watch you eating fufu and monkey meat. for them, they're laughing because they made you adhere to their culture when they know you're not supposed to. You understand? How do they know? Because they understand that when they watch you following the law, statutes, and commandments, you are a wise and understanding nation. They know they know you have a moral code to follow, to abide by. You understand? Again, we shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. They know you're smarter than them. They know you're not supposed to eat pork. Listen, if the Arabs were so smart, they would not have an exception to eat pork in the Quran, which they do. You understand? You don't. You don't make any exception. You don't compromise any aspect of your culture for nothing. You're not supposed to. And when you do so, it's because you hate your own people. As a matter of fact, you hate God. You hate your people, you hate God. That's in the Bible. What? 1 John chapter 4, verse 20 and 21. You hate your brother, you hate God. It's that simple. You understand? Let me just get 2 last precepts, and then we're going to end the class. You understand? Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. We get 3 precepts, matter of fact. Let's go to, again, this is one of my favorite precepts, so you could understand these nations, they're not stupid to a certain extent, because they know who you are, and they know that if to keep you subservient to them, you need to sin. Right? Judith chapter 5, verse 20 says, now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against his people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that they shall be their ruin. Listen, these white women know that, listen, this is how you destroy black community. Let's marry this black man. Down the line, I'm going to put him on child support, divorce him, and find me a good white man. The Asians know, you don't even need to marry with you. Just have you lust after them. You're going to find you another white woman or another Chinese woman or whatever lustful, disgusting animal you find to sleep with. And that's a wrap. That's how they're able to oppress you. And let us go up and we shall overcome them. If you wonder why, you're always at the bottom of the barrel, because you decided to marry a white woman. Eve decided to marry a white man. She's going to wonder why white people are trash talking about her and her man, because you decided to marry a white man. God is trash talking about you right now. What are you talking about? You're worried about the people. God is looking at down. You're like, good night. Lord be with you. Imagine God telling you, Lord be with you, and he's the Lord that's supposed to be with you, and he's not going to be. Yeah. That's how the Most High is seeing, like, yeah. Sure. Yeah, that's the Most High right now, looking at Eve. Looking at all these brothers and sisters marrying outside their race. You understand? Go to verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, iniquity meaning sin, let my Lord not pass by, lest their Lord defend them. These nations know, listen, there's no sin amongst us, not one. They can't touch one hair on our head, not one. If they do so, the Most High is going to deal with them just like he dealt with the Egyptians. It was not beautiful for the Egyptians. And their God before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. There will be an example before all the world. All the nations will know, good night. The Most High is nothing to fuck with. Salaki, we can't touch his people. You see what he did to the Egyptians? Killing every single firstborn, from the man to the cow to the dog to the pet fish. Yeah, I don't want that to happen to me. Let them be. They're passing through. The matter of fact, pay them a tribute. Let them pass through. Show them the way. The heathens will humble themselves in your sight if you follow the Most High all the time. They will never try to oppress you. You understand? Let's grab real quick Nehemiah chapter 13, right? Just to show y'all what I mentioned to you earlier. Solomon's sin was not multiple women. It was heathen interracial relationship. So like in Nehemiah chapter 13, for time's sake, let's start at verse 26. Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? How did Solomon sin? The Christian church, which is the house of lies, will tell you Solomon sinned by having multiple women. He married multiple women. He had multiple wives. That's not his sin. Yet among many nations was there no king like him. There was not one king like Solomon in any nation. Y'all trying to make it seem like Mansa Musa was the richest man on the face of the earth. Listen, Mansa Musa was not comparable, could never have been comparable to Solomon, king of Israel, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. These outlandish women, we're going to find out who were these outlandish women. And him, he's the reason why the kingdom got split in half, because of these outlandish women. Verse 27, shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our God in marrying strange wives? These strange wives, who are they? The heathens, the daughter of Pharaoh that Solomon married, the Edomites, the Moabites, all the heathens he married. It's not just about the heathens mentioned in Deuteronomy chapter 7 in verse 1. You're not supposed to marry heathens. From the Caucasians, from the lightest to the darkest, from the straight hair to the silk to the semi-kinky hair, for whatever the complexion or features they have, you're not supposed to marry heathens. You're not supposed to marry outside your race. Now, supposed to be segregated, supposed to be holy, but why are we not separated in that case? Why is the Most High keeping us today in the midst of all these nations? Why? That's the question you may ask. You understand? Well, we're going to show you why. We're going to show you why right now you have to live next to the Chinese and the Arabs. You understand? I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you what you have to do. It's that simple. Judges chapter 2, verse 20. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. And he said, because that this people had transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, have not hearkened unto my voice. Let's see what the Most High is going to do, because you keep disobeying him time after time after time. Verse 21, I will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died. The Most High is not going to keep you separate from these nations ever again until we're in the kingdom, of course, as we read in Isaiah. Till then, he's not going to drive them out. He's not going to make them flee from us ever. Verse 22, that through them I may prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein, as their fathers did keep it, or not. That's why, these nations are amongst us right now. That's why you live next to the Italian neighborhood. You live amongst the Russians. You live amongst the Asians. You live amongst the East Indians. Why? Because the Most High trying to test, are you going to lust for these nasty bastards? Are you going to lust after these dogs? Are you going to want to marry these rat and bat eaters? That's why. It's a test. Are you going to fall for it? You understand? That's why. It doesn't matter how much they say they love Black, Latinos, and Native Americans. It doesn't matter how much they claim they want to, they're fascinated by your culture. It doesn't matter if that's the only little, listen, it doesn't matter if that little white girl at school is the only one, the only friend in high school. It's the only nice person you ever seen in your life. It doesn't matter if that woman is the only woman on the deserted island you're left on. The Most High is testing you right now. Are you going to fall for it or not? You're going to fall for the trap of these women? Are you going to fail the test? You're going to pass with flying colors and not sin? That's what we're among the heathen right now. Right? With that, that's the end of the class today. You understand? The water for everybody who tuned in. Right? If you marry outside your race, you hate your race and you hate yourself. And you hate the Most High. Like what the Christian church tells you, and like Michael Jackson previously sung, we are the world, we are not the world. Just like he sang in his stupid song, we are not the world. The world he sang about was the world of the white man, the world of the right race. We're not all equal. We're above and smarter than every single nation on the face of the earth. God is the ultimate racist and never meant for his people to marry outside their race. He never did. He's not doing it right now, and he never will. With that said, tune into the history class this Sunday, December 12th, where we're going to see that our Native American Indian brothers were slaves just like we were. You understand? With that said, the water again for everybody who tuned in. We're going to end the class right here. Read the security announcements, right? The schedule of the classes are Wednesdays, the law class by Officer 1000 Adiyar. Thursday, the Brotherhood class like today by myself, Officer 500 Barakiala. Saturday, the Brotherhood class in French by myself. And Sundays, the history class, again, with Officer Adiyar and myself. Right, the water for in Israel. Tune into John Hyman's class right now on One West online classes. Don't miss it. You don't want to miss it. Ask all your questions and get all your questions answered. Shalom. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry, tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like. Remind upcoming Holy Convocation, right? The next upcoming Holy Convocation was the Feast of Purim, which is the 14th and the 15th day of the 12th month. Next class, I'm going to get the date for you this Sunday, right? But we can read more about it in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31. Reminder to all Akim and Aquatim to check the bulletin board in the hallway of the school if they have a physical location. And if any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf, but that's what will give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Menavijal Amajam, which means to stand, will give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Menavijal Amajam Shabbat, Majam, Barak, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Brakatam, meaning Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Bless y'all. Yajamata, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn and visit sisters. We'll give them a courtesy salute as well. Menavijal Amajam Shabbat, Amajam, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alatan Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, meaning Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yajamata, class dismissed. Watch again for everybody who tuned in. Shalom.
Yeah. You ready? Nah, I mean, is you ready? Somebody ready for war? Tawizi. Lights up. Wise man mad. They ready for war. Getting all blacks is a trooper. Plan, plot, strategize, crucial. Gotta pick a side, no neutral. In the middle of a war as usual. Watch your back, they shoot. If your ops drop, better keep it moving. All we do is win, no losing. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. Plan, plot, strategize, crucial. In the middle of a war as usual.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.